recording has started.
Bring us back.
Welcome back. We're on our live remote within the studio, guys. We're having a great time. We're actually very comfortable as well.
It is. We're just like having a conversation, which is really cool. We're here with Jess M. Baker, the Militant Baker. You can visit her website at themilitantbaker.com. And go find some fabulous stuff there. Pictures, lots of beautiful pictures. 25 things fat girls should not do, or fat people.
Well, it's all lies.
In general.
25 lies that fat people should do.
But now it's time for, we did the club calendar, we did the interview with Jess, now it's time for catch-ups. Who wants to go first?
We should do round table. We should just start.
Oh, okay. I don't have a lot this week because I was all ready to go see the masseuse this week. Already. And went to get in the shower to get ready to have my wonderful massage. And fucking Mother Nature was there.
Aunt Flo's in town.
Wait, you can't go get a massage? Oh, that I'm like,
and
you can get a massage while you're...
with the masseuse. Remember, I met the masseuse?
Oh, gotcha.
And
so, yeah. Go ahead.
Yeah, she sends me a text. She goes, God damn it. Started my period. I'm like, haha.
Yeah, aren't I too old for this shit, you know? Yeah. So there wasn't really any good sexual action. But I do have to tell you something. All of you people that watch the show know I have arthritis. So some other fat chicks told me about this natural supplement called Infla-Ease. So I got a bottle and took it to my doctor, and I said, can I take this stuff? And she said, yeah. So I started taking it, and it was like, oh my God, my ankles and my knee felt great, okay? Like, really made a difference in my arthritis. So, like, the first day I took it, I felt so good. I did, like, 4 times more than I usually do in a day. I was, like, at 4 different stores, and I was, out in the yard. And then, so guess what? So I wake up, and I pulled a freaking muscle in my ass. So... because the Infla-Ease is for inflammation, my ass is not an inflammation. It's just big all the time. So my joints feel really good, but the freaking ass muscle. So I really do need to go see the masseuse now and get my massage. So so I'm limping, but it's not because my arthritis is bothering me. It's because I have a pulled muscle in my ass.
And that's a whole lot of ass.
I would say, and I have a really big ass, so that must be a really big muscle. So I'm going to be all good once that gets better.
Well, that's one way to look at it.
Yeah, I guess. So that's it. I don't have much. Been busy all week. I never have free time, so never. But anyway, I'm not done. I'm done whining.
Okay. Go ahead, Mama.
Woo! I had a hell of a week.
Yes, we know.
I follow you on Facebook. I kind of know.
No, whatever. Well, it started out this week with the 8-year-old going to the allergy doctor, poor baby. So they did the little poke test, 24 pokes, and out of the 24 pokes, he is not allergic to 6 things on there. That's crazy.
And as they do in the dots, it's just turning red, and I'm like, he's like, ow, 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 like, poor baby. Like, he's allergic to everything, including cats. So we that one I already kind of figured out, but
his back looks a lot like my son's back when he gets his scratch test done.
Yes, it was terrible, and you could just look at him and watch them turn red. It was this poor thing. Dentist appointments, and then of course DJ and I with our issues. Yes, we did not get along very well this week. I ended up having to apologize to somebody because on a technicality, it was my issue and not hers. And in our discussions on stuff, because there was a couple of days where there was no talking other than answering questions, other than to the kids. Did you want this? Yes.
That's a little chilly. Huh?
It was yes and no's for about 3 days.
It was very icy.
Icy at their house.
Very cold in my house. Yes. So.
Did you guys have angry sex during this time?
No, we did not. He did not want to have sex at all. At one point was telling me he didn't like me at all, and sex was not going to fix the issue because that's my run-to thing, and I'm going to do this without crying.
that's my run-to thing. That's how you fix it. That's how I always fix it. It's like, just have sex in it. And he's like,
blowjob and he'll be happy.
He's like, I'm not going to do that. We're not doing that. We're not doing that until we're fixed. And so that was one of the issues, because I was like, now what the fuck do I do? You know, so now we have to talk, or what do we have to do to fix this shit, you know?
My pussy's supposed to fix it all.
You have the power. That's the power. It's supposed to fix that, but it didn't work. But,
I have a question. Have you guys explored doing couples counseling?
no, we have not. That, I mean, the whole thing, a lot of this issues is my issues, and being insecure and jealous. And he, because of what he went through in his previous marriage, he couldn't look in a direction where there was a girl walking down the street without her being on his back. So he has a huge phobia of that. A lot of the issue is my issue. And because we always talk about the big girl complex and he's a nice looking guy.
And he's a nice guy.
He's that fucks you up. He's a nice looking guy. He's a nice guy, and he's well spoken. Mm-hmm. Now,
trust me, sister, I know.
Okay, I know you know. Anyway, so that's my issues, and it's like you don't get it. You're being nice in order for you to make friends, and you want to socialize, and that's all fine and good. But you have to watch what you do. And I think we're having discussions, and part of it is, and I don't know if I necessarily don't trust him. It was just like, and he made a joke about how he had said something, and okay, let's go back to talking about something else, and he said, what do you want me to talk about? And he like used his little deep voice, and I was like, hold up. Because that's the trick you use with me when you want me to do something. Hold on, because I'm not going to have you using your tricks on other women. And I'm like, fuck. So we've been kind of fucked up this week, and we've had some talking. And, you know, like once you open a door, it's kind of hard to close that door. And now within the realm that we are, we've had some...
Once you open that can of worms, they start wiggling away.
Right. We've had negotiations and talking about, you know, what we can do and what we can't do, and took a little step back, and you know, talking about boundaries and rules and you know what we want to do. And you know, as we were talking, I'm like, what's fucked up, and part of my problem is I know what kind of a guy he is. And
can I say something? Because you know what kind of a guy he is, and because the family you have, it's all about how you feel that you... I mean, I personally feel, and you know your husband better than any of us knows your husband, but I don't feel like he would step out on you.
Yeah. Okay.
So maybe that's a place where you need to get to trust that just because some other woman, and you're right, some other woman would latch on to DJ because he's a really nice guy.
And he had an epiphany, you know, that when we were talking during our little negotiations or whatever you want to call them, about how he might feel that he has to over flatter somebody to get them to talk to him to be his friend, because he's had friend issues. So we both have fucked up ass issues that we're trying to deal with, and you can't do this one because this one bothers me, and I can't do that one because that one bothers you. And there's stuff he's like this,
and this is why I swear on the Holy Bible of fucking therapy. I swear to God, therapy.
Well,
because having a third party, we're your friends. We're both of your friends, and it don't matter a fuck what we say because we've got a biased opinion. Period. End of story.
Yeah.
But seeing a therapist, somebody who doesn't even know your last name except for what's written on the paper, you can lie to him all you want. As long as the insurance comes through, they don't give a shit what your name is. Having that third-party person who has no original opinion on what's going on, hearing both of your sides. Most couple counselors that I've been to, ridiculously or not, I've been to a couple of them.
Yeah, me too.
They start off with one person at a time listening to the stories, and then they bring you together. And they tell you what they've observed between the two of you, and then they observe how you interact between you. I think that would be fabulous for you guys, because what you need is someone who doesn't know what the fuck is going on to hear what has happened.
And apparently, I mean, it's part of the problem, part of my issue was what the fuck do you need to get up and flirt floor and social and do all, why do you need to do that? You never had a problem. You never weighed over whatever. And apparently from us talking, he's got that same issue as well. It's a different form, but you know, people tell him he's handsome or telling him he's, you know, nice looking guy or he's a nice guy or whatever. Apparently it's similar. It's different but similar. I don't know.
He's got a form of battered spouse syndrome because his previous spouse battered him mentally. He was mentally.
Oh, not only mentally.
Oh, I'm sure she'd be. Because my baby daddy's
bite him. He's got bite marks and shit, like where
my baby daddy's got an ex-wife who beat the shit out of him while I was watching one time. It was really kind of funny because then I beat the crap out of her. But anyway, he's got a form of you know, battered spouse syndrome. He's learning to. He's getting out of that now.
Yes.
He's learning that he can go out and talk to other people, and he originally believes he can go out and talk to other people without having that come back on him, and then having you come out and go, well, I don't want you talking to other women. That immediately.
Well, my thing is where are we at that you've now decided to talk to people and all these girls, and I'm thinking like, oh, I have this problem, and he's saying hi, and he's like being nice. Okay, so what's gonna happen next? And then that's when shit starts fucking with me, because I know he's a nice guy. I know he's a handsome guy. I know that he's very.
But that's where you have to trust him.
You gotta.
You can tell me all day, but I have to.
Yeah, you gotta contain that monster.
And you know, and then we were talking about.
You just gotta jump right.
And then we. I will. And then we talked about you know, like sex wise. And you know, making sure that I'm the one that's important. Let me see, how do I say this? You know, most guys, it's all about them.
Depends on the guy.
Okay.
Yeah, true.
Okay, let me rephrase. Majority of the men that I have slept with, other than my 2 husbands, it's all about them. And then it's like, oh, damn, it's over already? Like, what the fuck was supposed to happen?
That's because they don't want to make a relationship. They just want to get their rocks off and move on.
And it's different. And he's not like that. It's about, okay, how is that? Are you okay with that? Is this or that? And I'm like,
how many orgasms can I give you tonight?
Yes. And so then I'm like, and then I start thinking about that.
I can't wait to see that on the video. I'm waiting.
And then I think about like the past and like, what if I would have used this past? And then it's like, that's it? Like, what the fuck is that?
That's what we were telling you.
I
know, but good sex.
I know, but you know what? Until you could tell somebody till you're blue in the face, and until
they experience it
or realize, like, hold on, wait a minute, that might happen. Like,
it might be disappointing
up, right? But this whole time that I've been like fucking myself up over this past for the last 6 months or whatever, and then it's
she had a whole pass.
What the hell is this? You know, so I mean, we're talking now, and things, you know, are a little bit better. It's, you know, we're discussing things, and every time one of us gets up to go get mad, because he's the person that I ended up apologizing to. He felt like he needed to explain stuff, and that's his thing, because he always explains or writes shit down and he felt that he needed to do it. And so we kind of, you know, had a little backtrack on that. But, you know, at this point, it's like, now, you know, do what you do. I just have to trust that in the end, if
somebody approaches him and somebody wants more than just a friendship, that you got to trust that he's going to be the one to say, look,
you know what happens? He keeps saying, I'm in control of me. And so,
you know what happens is when people are in really bad relationships, they get really comfortable with it, especially if they have any sort of self-esteem issues, which everyone does. And so what maybe might have happened is that he and you got really comfortable, and that gets really uncomfortable for people when there isn't that issue. And so maybe it feels comfortable for you to get upset, because that's what he's used to.
No, he's very pissed off about it.
He's upset about it?
He's very mad because of what he dealt with in the previous relationship. And
well,
the first sign
though. I mean, I don't know. I mean, it might be worth trying to where you get to learn to monitor your own thoughts, which is the hardest thing of all time.
You're right.
I said that I was going to work on that.
Yeah.
And you know what? You have to come up with some kind of phrase that said, like, when you see, let's say we're at the club and he's talking to somebody, And, you have to come up with a phrase in your head that says, he's going home with me.
You need a
He's the
mantra.
father of my children.
Yeah.
Whatever that phrase is, and go, this is okay.
I know where he'll go to sleep tonight, and I know where he'll wake up in the
Exactly.
And
Something
I know.
that kind of brings you down to like the level.
Yeah, but
I know it's not easy. I've been there. I understand.
It's probably the hardest thing.
Yeah.
morning.
well, I mean,
You guys are exploring life socially at the exact same time. and it's hard for both
well,
of
we've
you.
been through so much shit.
Mhm.
And I was gonna do this without crying, but it's not gonna work. But we've been through so much stuff since we got together. It's been one thing or another, I mean, at one point I was 700 pounds. And I'm like, I'm not even thinking about it because I'm not paying attention to him on what he's going through. But at one point he was like, what, 270, something like that. So to him that was a big deal.
And
for
it's a
him.
real big deal. His
That-
makeover with his biking and
yes,
swimming
and, yeah.
yeah. And the first thing he said to me, he said, "You like my new tight-fitting shirt?" So he was proud of himself last night because he's got this new, kind of chiseled look, and he had a new tight-on shirt. So yeah, he's doing this. He does that because he needs that stroking and that extra encouragement.
Well, and somewhere along the line too, he was saying, well, the somebody that made a comment about him being handsome or whatever, and he was like, "You never said that to me," and I was like, "Hold on, wait a minute." Hold on, because I know in 13 years or however long it's been, because it seems like fucking 50, but anyway, I know at some point I was like, "Ooh, you sexy," or I know that I have. There's no way that around this that I haven't said something to him. And, I'm like, we were talking about it, and because my son has like selective hearing. And if you tell him, if you don't do this, then we probably won't be going to the park today. And all he hears is, won't be going to the park today. And he's like devastated then. And so he's like, maybe that somewhat is me because, the selective hearing, and maybe he didn't hear it.
Humans are hardwired to remember the negative and forget the positive.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, so that's been my week, and then we,
Swear on the Bible of
we're
therapy.
we're still talking about doing a film and having a photographer, and we discussed going to the Rooster too. So. Oh yes, block me. Don't wipe.
I'm blotting for you. I'm blotting for you, Mom.
But yeah, we were discussing going to the Rooster too, and to go to go check it out, because the last time I went there, I was probably 600 pounds when I went there, and it freaked me out. And I was like, "You can't do that there." He's like, "Yes, you can." He's like, "You can't do this." And I'm like. He's like, "Yes, you can." We didn't never even go except for the one place. So we were talking about that too. As the subjects started lightening up some and back to us and how we joke and go back and forth to each other. So, that was one of our thing that we talk about. But that's what we do,
Callie guy, just so you know, I have volunteered for us to have sex in the same room with them.
I volunteered too.
For those of you who don't know, the Red Rooster is a swingers club for mainly old people.
No, it's not. Yeah, no, before till midnight.
Till midnight.
Till midnight.
And,
it's the geriatric
of course,
ward.
we have the Power Exchange, which is under new management, which is an everything club, transgender, straight, gay, doesn't matter, and where you can watch from the window or the doorway people having sex.
Or the chair in the room.
Right.
That's what
Bench
you guys
on the
should
bench.
do. We should go to the Power Exchange, and you and DJ go in one of the rooms and have sex, and we'll just all stand at the glass.
Well, no, they said they're going to go in the couples room.
I think
There is a couples room.
we should all go in the couples rooms. There's enough beds for all of us.
Like,
to
you
go
think
in
that
there.
one-
That's
Take
true.
that one.
That's
Take that
true.
one. Take
As
that
long as I get that one with all the vines on it, I love
That is
that
a
bed.
fun bed.
I love that
There's
bed.
a stocks at the end of the bed, just so you
I know.
But I just have one other thing I have. I have 34 more pounds to go so I can do my my skin on my legs, because that's one of the part I don't like. But yeah, I'm doing it for me, not for anybody else. I don't care what they think. I just know that that's something that I don't like.
Do what makes
So,
you happy.
That's
Mama.
it. Exactly.
I came a long way, so I'm gonna continue on my shit. I've been doing good, because I've probably about 20 pounds now that I've lost since I was going to the doctor, and I decided to not necessarily diet, but just make better choices
yeah.
and little changes, and
Grapes instead of chips.
Grapes are high in sugar. You actually should. Grapes are not a good fruit. They're very high in sugar. I noticed because I low carb for a long time. And
well, yeah, that's what I'm mostly doing, like, because
apples, pears, plums.
Because I did, that's, you know, I eat more like meat and cheese and stuff like that.
Low carbs, yeah.
Still hear a few things here and there. A lot of our stuff we eat is like whole grain or wheat or whatever, so it's just better.
How is aerobics coming?
I love it, and I love the instructor. I love the morning instructor, the little ditzy girl. The afternoon instructor, not so much. But yes, but I still get some movement. But I'm telling you, the one in the morning, that's a workout for real. I'm like, the next day, I'm like, oh shit, like that. Yes, and like, you know, the little Morticia or Charlie Chaplin walks in the pool. That shit ain't nothing nice. So. Yeah, so I'm down about 20 pounds. I'm still doing the water aerobics Mondays and Wednesdays at 10 o'clock. So if anybody's free and wants to go,
hit her up on Facebook.
Facebook me.
SinCityMama SCB on Facebook.
Yep. So that's about the extent of my crybaby-ness right now. I'll have some more updates for you next week. Hopefully, it won't be as crazy.
All right. Well, let's stop the recording so we get these two on their own.
Okay.
So we're taking
we'll be right back.
Break.
Don't go away.